Good day, grade job students. Welcome back to Philosophy of Human Person class. Last time, we learned that humans are political beings. They do not only relate with one another in communities, but they also need to enter into political association for their own preservation, common protection, and good life. So this week, we are going to discuss all about the common good. Specifically, today we are going to focus on the contribution of social contract theories. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to describe how human relations are transformed by social systems. Explain how this system works within a particular framework that sets the conduct of their social lives. Synthesize the concepts through infographic. And lastly, cite your views on people's natural rights. Let me ask you this question. Are humans naturally good or bad? What are your proofs? While it is in the best interest of humans to enter into the political society, can we require them to live in it without their consent? So let's get started with the first social contract theory by Thomas Hobbes. By the way, Hobbes is an English philosopher known for the term Leviathan or absolute power. He justified the social contract theory known as totalitarianism. There is no place for industry, no education, no culture, and no account of time. However, there is fear and danger. Human condition is in this state of survival. They must agree to surrender their natural rights to the sovereign they would choose to govern them. So unlike Aristotle, who claimed that the existence of political society is natural, Hobbes claims that the existence of political society is a human creation. So there will be no war in the state if humans are good by nature. So there is war in the state of nature because humans are naturally selfish according to Hobbes. So if humans are selfish, what government should be established? And what should be the power of the sovereign? And what are the rights of people? A leviathan or absolute power is necessary in order to secure peace and order in the society. But for this strong society to be established, there is a need for people to enter social contract. And once people surrender their natural rights, they must obey the commands of the sovereign. But what about human liberty? What liberties should the people enjoy in the political society? Liberty is the main cause of miserable human conditions. It leads to revolution that may destroy their society, such as liberty of expression that might be used to criticize and attack the sovereign. Thus, there is no human liberty in Hobbes' political society, which is totalitarianism. So people are called subjects and not citizens. So this aptly describes a totalitarian form of society ruled by an authoritarian government. Another English philosopher who is known for his tabula rasa, or an epistemological theory that the human mind is a blank slate, is no other than John Locke. He justified another social contract theory known as democracy. According to Locke, there is a natural law that governs the action of the people, who are themselves rational, free, and equal with one another. As free beings, they can do anything they want in accordance with the natural law. However, the state of nature is short of being perfect, so there are three things that are lacking. The first one is there is no written law. Natural laws are too broad to be applied to specific cases. There is no impartial judge to decide on controversies. While people are rational, they are not always objective in their judgment. And lastly, there is no common power to execute the articles of the natural law. Individually, they have no power to enforce what is right. Because of these inconveniences, there is a need for people to enter a political society. The people have to give their consent to two social contracts. The first contract is contract among the people themselves to establish a political society and form a government. People must give their consent to establish a political society. To address the three inconveniences, the government is divided into three: legislative to enact written laws, judicial to settle controversies, and executive to enforce written laws. The next social contract is the contract among the people and the government. Obedience is equivalent to protection of rights. The government agrees to protect people's rights in the condition that people abide by its commands. So breach on the second contract means deprivation of rights, although it recognizes the power of the people being true sovereign. As the people are the true sovereign in Locke's political society, they have the right to revolt against a tyrannical government. As a form of government, it is popularly defined as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. A democratic society is one that abides by the rule of law. Liberties are protected. Due process of law is another right of people in this society. The government, therefore, should embody the ideas and aspirations of the people. The third concept of social contract, known as general will, is proposed by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a French political philosopher known for his book The Social Contract. According to Rousseau, man was born free and everywhere he is in change. So humans are free and not free at the same time. So this statement actually talks about two human conditions. So human condition in the state of nature, humans are free. And human condition in the state of a corrupt society, where humans are deprived of their freedom. Unlike Hobbes and Locke, who regard humans as rational beings, Rousseau conceives that in the state of nature, humans are like apes because they have no ability for rational thinking. There was no power above them to demand obedience. They can do anything they want. There is no society to define what is right or wrong. However, their freedom was deprived when institutions were established by those who had vested interest in society. So, what gave rise to this condition? When humans started to claim private properties, this resulted to social inequality. Natural freedom was replaced by political freedom. There was slavery. Therefore, the task according to Rousseau is to establish a political society that recognizes human freedom. We have here the two purposes of Rousseau's political society. The first one is to defend and protect the life of each member, and the second one is to promote people's liberty. To realize these purposes, each people must be united with all to be protected with the common force. So unity is equivalent to general will. Member of political society always consider the general will. People's will must be reduced to only one will, which is what Rousseau calls general will. So in making decisions, a person must ask two questions. Can my decision be universalized? Will my decision promote common good? Only when the person's answer to these questions are both yes, then he or she is deciding in accordance with the general will. But why should a person act in accordance with the general will? It is because only in acting to the general will, that person acts freely. If the person is following the general will, he is also following his will. He is the master of his actions. To be bound by the general will is to be morally free. To be morally free is the human's greatest achievement, which is only possible inside a political society. So that ends our lesson for today. If you have questions, send a message to my.whiteimbreza@gmail.com. Have a great learning day!